So Zesta just went. What do? You have no funds in your EcoCash or your bank account.
Uh,
Hi guys, this is Rufaro. I'm back again with the podcast, joined by,
Farai, guy from the blog.
I guess today we are the what? Two musketeers.
Yeah. Tom and Jerry, I guess.
Yeah, but you've probably been in that situation where there's no electricity at all,
Yeah.
or you're in a tight spot. Your salary
True.
hasn't come out, right? And you have no funds, and you're just wondering, what do I do, right? Maybe you don't even have a bank account. Like your EcoCash is dry. You don't have a bank account, so you can't go apply for a bank loan. Well, to start off, bank accounts are now easy to open, right?
Yeah.
So
Very.
Steward Bank is like, hey, just dial.
Star 236 hash. I always want to say star 260. It's 236 hash.
And then you just enter your details. Actually,
No, you don't
need to
enter.
enter your details.
They know your details. They take them from EcoCash and EcoNet.
Yeah. So that's the powerful thing now, in that they're under the same, parent company.
Yeah.
So they can kind of share details. Yes.
Maybe they can't, but they are sharing at least. They are. That's the position. I'm not sure about the legal ramifications,
But yeah. So they know who you are because you sign up on EcoCash. And when you sign up on EcoCash, you give them your details. Your name, age, when you were born, Kumshakwe. I don't know if they ask Kumshakwe, but things like
EcoCash
that.
is not
right?
that deep, but
And then you open an easy bank account, just like that. Your bank, like you did it. How was the experience for you? Because you were saying that you never used. I asked you one day. I was like, why don't you have a bank account? And you're like, I don't see the need.
I don't need
having a bank account.
In Zimbabwe, I didn't need one. I had EcoCash. I was covered. But anyway, more to the experience. It took me, I will confidently say, less than 5 minutes. It took me less than 5 minutes.
So when it will take you more than 5 minutes just to get to the bank,
exactly.
Before you even start filling out the papers,
But
and then maybe they tell you need a photocopy of this other thing.
But then, in my case, I'll put an asterisk in that I was at a pre-launch event, so the cards were already there. So how the process goes is you dial star 236 hash. You choose the open a bank account option. They match your details. They send you a one-time PIN, and then this one-time PIN will be linked to your card. I don't really remember, but anyway, the most important thing I want to speak of in terms of like time is you still have to go and collect the card. You have opened, so opening the account will be less than 2 minutes, but then you still have to go and collect the physical card and then link your account to that card. So that's still the friction that's there, but I mean, it's much better than going to the bank and filling out the papers there and proof of res, ID, all that stuff. Now you're just going to the bank to collect and you're on your way. So.
Yeah, but I guess that could be an easy thing for them to solve. They could do deliveries depending on how the logistics works for them. If they just need to deliver the card and then you pay the $5, right? And then you get the card.
No, you don't pay.
You don't pay?
You don't pay anything.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't. That's another thing. Well, at least I didn't pay. I'll speak for myself. This was a pre-launch event. This is a very controlled environment as an analyst. So, but as far I was at the launch, they didn't say anything about paying. You just go to the nearest EcoNet shop or Steward agent. Yeah, EcoNet shop, Steward agent, Steward shops or Steward banks, whatever.
And then you get your card.
So as far as I know, you don't pay, man. If you do end up paying, man, I didn't know that.
Right. So actually not aside, but like it seems like Steward Bank understands this concept, because I was reading this somewhere, and someone said that we don't need banks anymore, but we do need banking. So you don't need like the physical bank. You don't need to go, which is why some branches were closed.
Yeah.
Which is why things have been moving to electronic, right? Like last year we saw ZB Bank saying now all your RTGS you do them electronically. We don't want you to come. Not don't want you, but we are moving towards a paperless,
a better experience.
And now you don't even need to go to a bank account to go to a bank to open a bank account. So it seems like physical banks are slowly but surely disappearing, but banking as a concept is still there.
Yeah. I think the system is Well, it depends. In Zim, is the system really necessary? I think it's necessary to an extent if things are working and whatnot, because we've seen a lot of people just rely solely on EcoCash and cash, and it's not ideal. But anyway, that's outside the what we're discussing right now, and I think it's an advantage that Steward only has.
Because they don't have
They
the
have because they have the network.
yeah, and
Because
other
they
banks
have the
don't
network,
have.
exactly, and other banks don't have. So, as it's you gave a perfect example. You said ZB, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that paperless drive. Those are some of the things they can do, but they can't go as far as this unless if they're gonna partner with one of the MNOs. But then Econet again has that advantage in that Econet has like 7 million subscribers. So already
7 million people have no reason not to open a Steward Bank account.
exactly.
Because before it was, I need to go photocopy these things, and then I need to go to the bank, and then I need to do all these stuff.
Exactly.
Now it's, hey, while you're chilling at your home, watching ZBC, if you do still watch ZBC, you can open a bank account.
Exactly. So it's a bit tricky, but those guys, I think they're gonna. In fact, they are taking the banking market by storm. Their competition is just not prepared. Yeah, it's a tough one for them. For the competition, I don't know how they get out on how they get out on the other end.
So briefly, I don't really know whether this will like give people a reason to open a bank account. Like, sure, it's now more convenient.
Yeah.
But if EcoCash is doing all the things that I need to do
already,
why do I need to open a bank account?
That's the thing. It's I guess for them as a bank, it's one of those they're pushing for financial inclusion. I think that's the thing. EcoCash was meeting my needs, but I still opened. I guess I had to just for the experience, but
not out of necessity.
I still would have, even if I hadn't been invited pre-launch to test the product out to see how it works. I still would have opened a bank account. But yeah, I think that's a very good question. That going forward, does everyone need to have a bank account? I've had EcoCash for a long time now. I've never felt like I need to have a bank account.
Yeah, and before, like, employers would only pay you via a bank account. But nowadays, most employers now have even an EcoCash business wallet where they can pay you via EcoCash, right? So you don't necessarily need a bank account now. You can just get your money via EcoCash payroll.
Yeah, I guess maybe on the user-facing side, it's not that big of a deal. But for Steward Bank, I think it is a big deal in that they have, for someone who does want to open an account,
they can do it.
But then again, asterisks again, it's just an iSave account and an iStudent account, which are more like savings accounts and not
business type of accounts.
Exactly. So there's that to keep in mind as well.
Alright.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just hope that with bringing this, convenience that EcoCash brought, they're not as well killing their sister company at the same time. Because the other reason why you probably need a bank is to get loans. And this brings us to what our intro is about, right? When you have no electricity and you're out of cash, but you really need a loan, someone to just give you $100 or $10, right? So that you just get some electricity and make it through the night or make it through a week until your next payday. Now, it's EcoCash, right, Kashagi?
It's both, actually.
It's both.
It's both Steward Bank and EcoCash.
So it's that. Why bring it to both? Because sure, right? So Kashagi is this
nano loan.
It's a nano loan.
It's a little loan, I guess.
So it's less than $100. That's the maximum.
Yeah.
And the lowest that you can get
up to
$100.
Yeah.
And the lowest that you can get is like $5. Yeah. But then again, this all depends on your credit score, like how much they think you are worthy of.
Well, I'm going to call it a credit score because if you call it that, people are going to think of credit bureau and all that stuff. Yeah. It's more like they're using AI basically to see your patterns, how much you call.
Oh.
How much. Sounds like you just heard this right now, but
yes.
They're using AI. They're tracking how much you call, the transactions you make on your EcoCash or Steward, and your Econet number, that kind of thing. That's what they're using to determine. So I'm guessing Econet Platinum customers will probably be eligible for higher loans or whatever. But yeah.
So you gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
The more you spend,
the more you spend, the more
you
they
can
trust
loan.
you. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
It does make sense because we can't just give you $100 because we're nice people. We trust that
Yeah.
we trust that you bring it back. It doesn't work like that.
But I'm still curious, like, why bring it to both platforms? Like, if EcoCash has it, like back to what we were just talking about, if I can get a loan on EcoCash, yes, sure, I can get the same nano loan on Steward Bank, but if I don't need more than $100, then there's no point in me opening a Steward Bank account.
Well, I hadn't thought of it like that, but one thing I'm actually thinking of now is you could be banked with Steward, you could have EcoCash, but you're more active on Steward, and therefore you qualify for more there.
Okay.
So you want $80, but your EcoCash, you don't qualify. You qualify for $10 exactly.
Yeah.
And you can and it's a really short process, and you go through it on Steward, and you get your $80. And also the people, like we said, the people who don't really believe in the banking system or who don't need to have a bank and they're just on EcoCash. Cool. I don't think the people who are solely on Steward and not on EcoCash, I feel like EcoCash has just become really widespread. But anyway, if there are people who are on Steward but not on EcoCash, so they're just broadening the net. I mean, why not?
If you can do it.
And they're going to be making money, so.
Either way, it benefits the parent company, so.
Exactly. Both businesses are under Cassava Smart Tech, so. So yeah, and oh yeah, another interesting thing to think about is you're probably thinking interest rates.
Yeah.
Interest rates. So there are no interest rates, but there's a handling fee. Okay, an administration fee is what they say, a 5% administration fee.
Okay.
So compared to other microfinance institutions, I think this is much better because those guys were charging like 10%, and then the rogue elements were charging more than 10%. In fact, they were charging, I don't remember what the figures are, but the cap is supposed to be 10%, but the guys were charging beyond that. So
okay, so if I borrow $100, 5% of $100 is how much? That's $5.
Don't do that. It's $5, I guess. It should be $5, but
so I pay back. No, I don't pay back 105, but they take away $5, and then I pay back the $100 that I got, something like that.
Yeah.
It's still much more of a better deal
than a
microfinance.
Where you were paying one, and a microfinance it's per month.
So
this is a 30-day. I guess that's fantastic as well. It's a 30-day loan.
Okay.
They have auto deducts if you're not meeting those loans. If you've got this loan on Steward Bank and you don't pay it back, you're getting blacklisted.
Okay.
So you can't open a bank account with any other bank in Zimbabwe because you didn't want to pay back $5. I guess that's not really a wise thing to do. But yeah, I think it's better than microfinance institutions.
I really want to dive into this AI thing that you spoke about, like the fact that they're using AI to analyze all this data that I have on two platforms.
If I tell you the next one, it's going to be amazing as well, where they've got something coming up called Kashagi for Business, and they're saying they won't.
I hope this is not embargoed.
No, it's not. It's public. It's wow. Well, it is now, but yeah, it's not embargoed.
Okay, so we can speak about it.
Yeah, we can speak about it. We can speak about the little that we know about it. So they're going to be giving out these loans to businesses. So of course, for businesses, you're not going to be looking for like $5 to $100.
It's more.
You're going to be looking for higher figures. They didn't disclose the figures that they're going to be giving out for that, but they said they're going to be using those same AI methods and psychometric testing. So there's no credit rating at all. So I guess psychometric is they're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and from those,
are you a good person?
they decide this guy is getting this loan or he's not. Which is interesting stuff, I guess, man. It's like no one else is doing this stuff on this level.
It really is, because they were one of the people who brought, bots on for banking, right? They made a lot of noise about it. Right? But yeah, they seem to be using a lot of tech in terms of like all their processes. There's the customer service bot. There's now this where you can open a bank account on your phone. There's you can get
banking in 60 seconds.
Banking in a minute. And then there's this AI to assess whether someone can qualify for a loan
Credit
instead of doing it
yeah.
manually. So with all this tech, I'm wondering, all these people who are in the banking sector, like working and they're doing all these manual jobs, jobs are gone, right? Like you cannot not speak about convenience that's brought about tech without speaking about jobs being lost.
Exactly. I think it's fantastic you say that because that's a lot of perspective we lose, especially as people who love tech. It's just push it, man. It doesn't matter that like 1,000 people are going to lose jobs, and I don't know how to feel because a lot of times it's just get with the times, and I guess it's we're seeing it. Hey, we saw Standard Bank this year. They were closing branches. They don't need as many branches because they're doing a lot more things online and whatnot, and via call centers. So I guess get with the times, but it's a tricky one. It's for me. I don't actually know how I feel entirely because we want this convenience.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I'm like, it's, I know it's, there's this dilemma that you're talking about, right? You want the convenience, but at the same time, you don't want people to lose jobs.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a necessary step in terms of us moving forward. Like, banking needs to be redefined. We can't be doing the same thing that was happening 100 years ago when this big bank came out. Like, no, things have to change because we're at a different stage now in terms of technology. So for me, it's like, hey, bring it. I mean,
and it's worse when you think of the Zimbabwean context where already jobs are like they're gold, eh?
So you're cutting more from a shortage of gold. Like the employment rate is high, and now you're cutting more out of that.
Yeah, the unemployment rate.
The unemployment rate is high, but you're now cutting more.
So yeah, it's interesting discussions, but then I guess these become a bit too philosophical, and it doesn't end.
Yeah,
it doesn't end.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm pumped because now I can get $5 when I need to buy airtime and I don't have money, or I can get $50 when we have to buy grocery at home.
Well, how do you feel about that? Maybe a more personal question. How do you feel about loans?
So I don't like borrowing. So there's this accounting principle that I heard that borrow quickly and like return late or delay as much as possible to returning. So I'm one of those people who doesn't like borrowing because not because I don't know whether I can pay it back. I pretty much always borrow and I know I can pay it back. But that fact that I owe someone,
it just feels weird when you do have your money and now you have to back to sender.
Yeah, but at the same time, if someone needs a loan from me, I'm one of those guys who's, if I have enough to spare, I'll give you the loan and then you give me back. And there's no benefit for me because usually, it's close friends, it's relatives who are just in a tight spot. So there's no like interest that I'm like, I'm getting a 10% interest.
A funny thing though, you say that. For me now, I've got a new system where if I'm giving you a loan, I'm calculating to the charges and then adding something extra so that inconvenience on me is not weighing me down, like for real.
I think it can work because I remember in high school there was this guy who had a business around that. Yeah. So you'd walk around with this book, like his ledger, right? And when you wanted money, you just go to him and you're like, yo, dude, I need money. And then he's like, all right, cool. You pay me back when? Oh, all right. So your interest is gonna be this. You're gonna pay me this much and stuff. And he would give you the money. And it was so interesting back then. This is like what, about 4 years ago, right? And I was like, wow, this guy.
And he was making money.
Pretty much. You saw a need that high school kids need extra cash sometimes. Maybe it's to take that girl out or just to have something for lunch that's nicer. So I guess it does work. There's a need for loans. Personally, I don't like to borrow. If I can't afford it now,
that's me as well.
I won't get it.
Borrowing, I don't know. I feel like the pain you feel when you have to return that money. But that's so.
Well, we'll see how it goes for EcoCash and Steward Bank. I do hope that not 90% of Zimbabweans will be blacklisted because they're not paying back. I'm trying to have faith that people will, pay back their stuff because the more the majority actually works along with the rules, the more they can open up and bring higher loans or make these things much more accessible. But as long as people are like, I don't wanna got $50, the only thing they'll do is blacklist me. You bro, it's like, come on. Like, think about other people.
It's a short-term gain in that we don't have cash in this country. So if you're blacklisted from these financial services, then what? So, and I guess that's a big thing that hasn't been talked about, hey, that no one is talking about you get blacklisted when the implications are quite
high now, because before you could just get cash. You were being paid probably in cash. You didn't even need to go to the bank. You could go around it. But now, when most of our transactions are electronic, you can't afford to get blacklisted on any financial.
So I think maybe that's something people should be talking, or at least we should be talking about more.
Interesting. So yeah, I think this has been it for Kashagi and banking in 60 seconds.
In 60 seconds.
Star 236 hash. Okay. Wow. So star 236 hash and Kashagi loans. Nano loans essentially. So let us know, guys, what you think about what the Econet group is doing with EcoCash and Steward Bank. Like, they just ramped up in December 8th. They started launching a bunch of things. We can't get into all of it now, but definitely we'll cover it as time goes on. So yeah, thank you for listening. Share your comments and share the podcast, with your friends, families, sisters, and stuff. This has been it, me, Rufaro. I'll catch you in the algorithms.
AI.
Yes, AI.
Kashagi.
Yeah.
I'll catch you on the blog. It's Farai. I wasn't here last week, but it's great to be back with you guys. Peace.